Hey guys, it's Em here, and today is the day, finally, for the video all about the United States, or American culture. And American culture is really hard to sort of stamp down and sort of just be like, yes, this is what it's all about, because America, as many of you know, is a huge melting pot, and people from all over the world had come to America, start a better life. People are still coming over, and there isn't really one definitive thing. Some people might say British is the closest you can come, because that is where the 13 colonies hail from. However, in all reality, America really is part of the whole entire world, with traditions from everywhere. So it was really hard to come up with things that were distinctly American. But I came up with a few things that were unique American traditions or things of that sort that sort of, when you think about it, seem really, really weird and bizarre, and some of them I have no idea why we do them. Others I can understand. So I guess I'll go ahead and get the ball rolling. So the first of these unique traditions would be tailgating. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with that term, it basically it's an event that happens before a sporting event of any kind, and you and your party of guests, or if you are a guest yourself, whoever, hang out in a parking lot or a field of some sort near the game stadium center location and sort of party. And there are, food and drinks and lawn games, a bunch of talking and, socialness, social gathering of your friends, family. It's kind of thing where it's a family event, co-workers, school thing. It's something that Americans do a lot, and they show up hours before a game, before you should sit down in your seats in the stadium. It, part of me is like, oh, that's, interesting, because if you're heading into the city for, a game, you beat the, the traffic, but at the same time, you're sitting there, in a parking lot with everyone's trunks of their cars open, drinking most likely alcohol if you were of legal age, and playing frisbee or something. So I sort of understand, but at the same time I'm kind of like, no, I just want to go and watch the game, talk to those people that have seats near me, whether friends or families or whatever, and have a good time. I don't want to have to invest a lot of time, but I guess Americans perfectly okay with that. And I'm not quite sure if that's something that's catching on to other countries, and if it is, yay for us, maybe, I think. Or it could turn out to be a horrible thing. I'm not really sure. That's just one thing we Americans do. Moving along with the sports route, another thing would be the Super Bowl commercials that we adore and love to watch. So the Super Bowl, for those of you who don't know what that is the super champion game for American football. And essentially it's to determine the best team, the winner, overall. And it's televised, it's, a big deal in America, and lots of people watch it. So naturally, a lot of businesses and corporations pay a lot of money for their commercials to be aired during the game because a lot of people will watch. And over the past couple of years, a lot of years actually, the ads that are played, the commercials, are very brilliantly done, very funny and humorous. Some of them are deep and touching. They're very, very well done. Some of them can last, 2 or 3 minutes. Others are only 30 seconds. And it's, some people don't even care who won the game. After the game, they're talking about which Super Bowl commercial was the best. Notable one would be Doritos. Those are, I remember those a lot. I also remember a lot of the kind of save the children in Africa ones or save the world kind of ones, just because they are very, very well done and a lot of time is spent into them that make you emotionally attached to the situation. And this is one of those things that I thoroughly understand and enjoy myself. Um, I think the vast majority of people, when they watch a sporting event, don't watch it for the commercials. This is the one time people actually do want to see the commercials. And I think you know, if you aren't familiar with the Super Bowl and the commercials that entail with it, then you're probably going to be a little bit confused. And you're like, why do you want to see some stupid commercial? Oh my gosh. But trust me, I got your back. Watch them. They will be fantastic. So, something that is actually, I don't understand why we do it. It's very weird. It's televised, but it's more of a political event. And it is the presidential turkey pardon. Yes, you heard me correctly. The president pardons a turkey. So every year on Thanksgiving, which hopefully many of you know what that is, it's an American holiday where we eat a lot of food like we fat Americans do and celebrate the Pilgrims and the Indians coming together. Essentially, kind of like the birth of America that we celebrate. And so around Thanksgiving, one of the foods that we have is turkey. And a lot of turkeys are killed for this time of year because that's just, they're in bloom, they're in season, that just happens. And during this time, the president literally gets up, makes a public announcement, speech, whatever you want to call it, and literally pardons a turkey. A turkey is chosen. Generally, it's a turkey that looks pleasing to the eye. It's a nice turkey, big and plump and beautiful to look at kind of bird. And on TV, he's like, yes, you're excused, and all of this stuff, and really, quite frankly, I think it's stupid. I don't see any purpose in it at all, other than that turkey's not eaten ever until it dies of natural old age. It's just, I don't understand at all. I'm just so confused about why we have to pardon a turkey. Honestly, the rest of the world doesn't care. Americans don't care. It's just a presidential formality that has been passed down from generation to generation of presidents. And unfortunately, that's one of them that they have kept and not changed. But I guess because it's not hurting anything, there's no need to really change it. So, moving away from the animals, I would like to also mention Black Friday as one of the unique things that Americans sort of participate in. And it, with America being all, Civil War with the slavery and segregating African Americans or black people descendant from Africa, Black Friday sounds really, really bad when you first think about it. But it has nothing to do with race, color, anything like that. It has to do with the economy. So it's called Black Friday because during that Friday and the rest of that weekend, the stores that participate in this go from being in the red to the black, which means that they are no longer losing money, but gaining money. And basically, a Friday, right after Thanksgiving, is selected for this Black Friday, and stores are open, and there's huge discounts and lots of new things that are on the market, and pretty much everyone goes out shopping on this day. Like, if you wanted to rob a house, that would be the day to go rob a house. Because nobody would be home. They would all be at Walmart or Target or Giant Eagle or wherever the heck they're going. Now, for those of us who are smart, that would be me, we don't go shopping that day. We avoid the stores. They're crowded. People push, they shove, people get into fights over the last pair of shoes, the last baby doll, whatever it may be. I avoid it altogether. If I just so happen to need to go to the store that day, I might go, or I might just wait a day. So, a lot of people have used this Black Friday opportunity to shop for holiday presents, for Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever else they celebrate, and just use that time to get cheaper presents, new things, technologies, or whatever. Overall, generally I could take it or leave it, but it's a tradition nonetheless, and you say Black Friday, every American, big or small, young or old, they know exactly what you mean. And I feel like a lot of foreigners miss out on a collective shopping experience. Like, the whole country knows. The whole country understands. And it's really, really weird, actually, when you think about it. And one last thing that is actually really bizarre would be Groundhog's Day. So, a groundhog is a weird animal unto itself. Okay, first of all, first and foremost, that just has to be out of the way. But then to dedicate a whole entire day to this animal is also very, very weird. So in Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, every year on February 2nd, people go to where the groundhog is kept, the official groundhog. He comes out of his hole, he's woken up to come out of his hole because, let's face it, they're sleeping during the winter. And he stands up, and supposedly how the rest of the winter will go is based off of whether or not this groundhog sees his shadow. Now, I think it's rather stupid. Groundhog won't predict the actual weather. Hello, people. It's just publicity and to get money. But hey, people enjoy it. People have a good time. It's interesting. It's a point of conversation. It's something people will talk about. And really, I just feel bad for the poor groundhog. He has to be woken up, every year in the middle of his hibernation, and, bruh, have you ever been woken up in the middle of the night? You're what the heck, man? Why did you wake me up? Hello, I was sleeping. Yeah, I'm sure that's how he feels, and I'm sure he just kind of wants to waddle back into his little hole and fall back asleep. So, I mean, if it weren't for that, I'd say, hey, go for it, man. Do whatever you want with the groundhog. But I don't really understand this tradition very much at all. I mean, I really understood, I think I understood the commercials for the Super Bowl the most, if at all. And the rest of them are just sort of I don't know why we do these things. And maybe we should stop. But hey, it's a tradition, and you gotta take traditions to heart, no matter where you're from. And hopefully you learned a little bit about my own country, the United States of America. And if you have any more questions about America, you can always visit my website, www.jimdo.com. Or you could always leave a comment, and make sure you like and subscribe and comment like I previously mentioned, and all that fun little jazz stuff. Unfortunately, this is the last video of this series. I know you guys are probably crying. But last one that I have to share, if you want me to do a different type of series or anything like that, leave a comment, and I'll get around to it eventually. If not, then I might just disappear forever, or I might just do my own thing, whatever makes me happy. And I'll be seeing you guys later. Have some very happy travels.